got Jory Johnson joining the show here. Jory, I got no music for you yet. That's this weekend's task, is to add some music for Jory and AJ to bring them into the show. But hey, today, Nation, we're going to talk about, with Jory, our resident nutritionist, performance dietitian expert, and the all-time, gentlemen, I got the button here. I got it, Marty. I'm going to get that organized this weekend too, which is,
yes.
There she is. Jim, we got to bring her up there. All right, there's Jory Johnson. Good to see you, Jory. How are you today?
Great, thanks. I love that. Listening to that part of the segment, it just reminded me of when I'm working with, doesn't matter if they're like 10-year-olds or if they're 80. I do this so that it's
you're on delay.
And I have paper plates, and you write on what's in your world, and then from family, work, your health and wellness, so it's your plate, and you turn it over, and it all matters. What do you need to start doing, stop doing, and what you can continue doing?
Oh, I love that.
So what's on your plate? Look it
I love that. That's good.
There we go. Hell yeah.
I think
Keith, you okay over there, brother?
I think Keith's trying to get it together.
Yeah, I think we even missed. I think we even bumped past the lifestyle.
We went past the lifestyle tip.
Yeah, he's all twisted up back there.
I guess, Jory, I think we're talking about creatine today. So I'll shift the conversation. So if you could tell us about creatine and its benefits, Jory, to get it started, the floor is yours. Of course.
It's a team. I love
Yes.
So it's not new that we often use creatine in terms of performance in our training or performance. However, there's also other reasons for health, short-term, long-term health reasons that we're now looking at creatine, whether dietary, but oftentimes to reach that therapeutic level, it's through supplementation. And there's a lot of areas that are being explored right now that look at how we use creatine for optimizing our long-term health.
Yes, I was just going to say, I was right when we got started, I was going to say, George, jump in there and tell them it's not just about lifting weights anymore. There's like all of these new benefits of creatine. I mean, I was never a huge creatine fan for the point of lifting weights, but now these new studies are out, man. I'm taking 3-4 doses of this shit a day. Of course, it does have a benefit in the gym, but it's not like some massive, oh my God, I took my creatine, I'm going to reach my goals in 2 weeks. It's just one more little thing you could do. But now that creatine represents all of these different elements of improvement, it's almost, and as cheap as it is now, it's really silly not to put this into your daily regimen.
Absolutely. And it's not just any creatine. One that has been researched that we know for sure it's put into our cells so that it's working. It's creatine monohydrate. That's the one I always use.
So hold on, Jerry. Somebody, let's talk about so they're walking up to the creatine stand and they're going, oh, there's a few of them.
Monohydrate. It's the one that's researched the most, almost since the beginning of time, in terms of supplementation research. And so we know it's not an issue on the kidneys. It's not causing cardiac arrest. In fact, it helps with ischemic heart arrhythmias. So if that's something that you're at risk for or have gone through, there's some research on that. If you're someone that's looking at helping that short-term memory, which I am, or if you're someone that has a history of or at risk for concussions, so creatine supplementation is great for that. So even in terms of blood sugar management, your insulin level, we talked about insulin the other morning a little bit. Creatine monohydrate has a significant role. Now, can you get creatine from food alone? You can. Probably not therapeutic dose.
Not enough.
You're a woman.
Not enough.
Or like 70 to 80% less than men. That women really benefit, as well as vegetarians or those that are reducing the amount of meat, which I know a lot of you here like your meat. Great. You're going to meet your targets a little more easily. But supplementation seems to get to that therapeutic use in terms of preventing some chronic.
I want to add this. Since I've been using creatine, I've noticed performance in the gym is better and definitely like cognitive function and energy.
Yes.
So I wanted to add that in because I use creatine as well, not as much as Johnny. But I got a question for you, Jory. A lot of people say that creatine makes them bulky or swell up. And I just want to add too, if you do want to take creatine, you got to still be eating clean. You still got to hydrate and you still got to be on your regular gym routine as well. So you can go ahead and answer that, Jory. We'll clear that.
So will the scale, if you're using the scale as a measurement, increase? Likely, especially if you're doing a loading dose. Now, if you're using it for other reasons than performance in your training, if you're using it for the health benefits, you don't have to do a loading dose. You can go 3-5 grams continuous, like every day is what that means. Even more so if you want to be a little more particular, because your size, your body size matters too. You go grams per kg of body weight to really get that maximum dose that is right for you. So usually a loading, it'll be 0.3 grams per kg of body weight, and then 0.5 0.03 grams for the maintenance phase. But again, if you want to reduce the water retention, which goes into the muscle, it's hydrating, right? People say that creatine dehydrates. No, it does the opposite. It actually retains water. The scale might go up, especially if you're doing the loading phase, but after that, I wouldn't worry about it. And really, weight is just a weight. It's body composition.
And real quick, so of course, we got to remember there's more than one, type of creatine. We're talking about mono. A lot of times people say, what? I went to the store and which one was it? There was multiple. How do I remember? Mono. Just think number one, you want the monohydrate. Just make it simple on yourself. You go in there, get the monohydrate, you're good. How do you remember? Just think number one. Makes it simple.
Exactly. And usually one scoop is around 5 grams. So you could weigh it out if you want to, but I don't have time. I don't know about you. But usually it's around 5 grams. So if you want to take a little bit of a lower continuous dose, just go half the scoop, right? Or 3/4 of the scoop. And you don't have to make it too crazy. We all are busy. We all have a lot on our plate. Let's just figure out what works for you. But there seems to be some benefits. And even in terms of body composition, in even looking at, which we're not going to go into detail here because I don't want people going and putting their kids on creatine, but there is research on children and adolescents using it, and does change bone mineral content as well as body composition. So just there is more and more research that needs to be done, but it's there and it's looking good.
Moving in the right direction is the key. Everything seems to be getting better and better, which a lot of times research, it covers a little bit of both sides of the fence. What do? This is not the case on this one.
What about your thoughts? What are you thinking outside of performance? What are you guys all thinking about what's coming on with creatine monohydrate and cognition, muscle health?
Yeah, that was my thing. As soon as I heard it was starting to support cognitive function, I was like, man, how do we not want to support that as we get into our later years? And when it comes down to it, helping the body be its best with something simple like that, it doesn't make any sense not to do it. And it looks like the research is going to keep uncovering more and more good things. So it's like, it just seems like a simple way to give your body an edge. And it's cheap. It's not like you're going to you're not spending, for those of you that are on a budget, this is not going to break the bank here. So it's really simple, straightforward, additive supplement that you can put into your diet. Now, I'm not a huge component of when I say supplements, but realistic, what I mean by that is I don't like it when people use a supplement for nutrient value because it's processed if it's in a supplement. When you're talking about something like this, it's not designed to bring nutrient value. It's just designed to support the body and its systems.
Yeah. Hey, Shinko has a question coming up here on the screen here. Are there downsides, Jory, to creatine? And the second part to that is Shinko also asked, could I have creatine with my coffee?
This person has such great questions. I love it. So in terms of temperature, there doesn't seem to be a temperature risk. So if you like it with your hot or cold brew, you're good. However, there does seem to be still somewhat of a greater intake when you have a carbohydrate and the creatine monohydrate. You don't have to, but there is some speedier intake if you do have it with a carbohydrate. And are there downsides? I guess the biggest downside really has been some people don't like the water retention that happens, the water uptake into the muscle. That's probably the biggest one that I've seen. Otherwise, everything else seems to be proven as a myth at this point.
Interesting.
But you just hit it on the head. It's water intake into the muscle. So many people say, oh, I take this creatine and I feel like I'm fat. No, you were fat before you took the goddamn creatine. That water went in the muscle. So don't think that creatine is making your fat worse. It's just giving you another excuse. Let's be honest. It affects the muscle, not the fat cell.
Yes.
Exactly.
And
it's actually doing the body good. So many people are out now with supplementing with vitamin D or a probiotic. This is the next thing. You're supplementing with creatine. Can you get it through your food sources? Yeah, 0.8 to 1 gram a day, typically from diet if you're eating animal sources. But if you want to reach that 2 grams per day, usually the supplementation has to come in. Just like your vitamin D, you can get it from sunlight, you can get it from food. But to optimize your levels, usually the supplement has to happen.
So Jory, what you were saying I think what you were saying was, because one of the questions that Shinku asked was, can I put creatine with my coffee? And I think what you said was, does it load better in the body with a carbohydrate? So if you're going to take creatine, ingest it with some kind of carbohydrate. Is that what you're recommending? Or
if you're looking for that performance gain rather than the health gain, or I should clarify that, if you're looking for that heart health, the short-term movement, you could just take in your water, whatever, but a carbohydrate source to have that increased enhancement of uptake if you're looking for the performance in your sport, in the gym, that sort of thing.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Just longer. You don't have to. It'll just take longer, a little longer.
Yes. John, Marty, Jory, what a great conversation. Jory, every time you come in here, the comments light up. People ask questions. I get texts after the show. I see the comments on LinkedIn and so forth. People are curious about the knowledge you bring to the table. So very grateful for what you throw out there today was extremely valuable. And I think, Nation, what we learned is that the most important thing about creatine is it's not just about your body for the gym. It's not just about building muscles, right? It's neurological. There's a lot of good things that you get out of creatine. So we invite you to spend more time researching it. Head on over to your local, I guess, whatever, your GNC, your local Costco, your local store to pick up the right creatine. Jory?
That's right. Creatine monohydrate. That's it.
And also recommend pill format, in dust format. In what kind of format would you recommend somebody take it?
The good old powder. Scoop and go.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better than the powder, man.
Yep.
Very true.
They got creatine gummies now and stuff. Just get the powder, man.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy. Really?
Yeah, just get the powder.
Yeah, I mean, those gummies you got to get down. Those things, that's a marketing thing.
There you go. There you go. No excuse to have your Creatine Nation. Jory, what do you got going on for the weekend before we say goodbye?
Oh, life. I don't know. Just life. Birthday parties, volleyball games. It's good.
That's exciting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Jory Johnson joining us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with the protein tip, the protein break, always dropping nutritional information to help you guys get through your day and get to the next one. And we're excited to bring back Jory next week. We got more great things ramping up. And I want to get into some more question segments with you guys, Nation. So maybe we'll organize a special day to throw like an AMA on the table where the segment's very much driven by you guys. So Jory, have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, okay?
Thanks.
Thank you, Jory.
Awesome. Take
Thanks,
care.
Jory.
Jory Johnson's heading out of here.